Divorced Dad Diaries, Day 5. Today I woke up to a mess in the hallway, mess in the bedrooms, clothes strewn everywhere, a mess from breakfast, and I was at home. Honestly, this is probably the first day that this house has really felt like a home, and I got straight into it. Back into old habits, empty the dishwasher first. It's usually the first thing I do in the morning, although I stacked this one quite poorly. I feel like there's a bit of an adjustment period when you're figuring out the best way to stack a new dishwasher, as well as figuring out where you unpacked everything. That was a bit of a struggle too. From there, it's on to laundry. I often kick myself for not doing the laundry first, although I never remember to do it first, just because then the laundry's done by the time you've done all your other chores. But 3 guesses what I forgot to buy. I have no washing powder. From there, it's on to floors. Crumbs show up really well on dark carpet, but not so much on camera. And of course, I don't have a vacuum cleaner, so it's back to the ex's house again, this time to borrow the vacuum cleaner, as well as some children's medicine and a toy that was left behind. And from there, it was onto the warehouse. Grandma gave each child a $20 voucher to the warehouse. I encouraged them not to spend it on edibles, but you saw how that went. And of course, to the washing powder section, where all the cheap shit was already sold out. For lunch, I did pepperoni toasties for the kids. And then later in the day, I finally had some washing to fold. I'm very particular about how I do my folding. I like to separate out all the different items first, like an adult clothes pile, towels and stuff pile, and then each of the individual kids. And the kids put away their own stuff, which sort of helps them curate their own space. And while I was at it, I noticed this giant pea pod growing in the backyard. I wonder what that tastes like. Quick afternoon trip to the playground during a break in the rain. I go through this whole routine every time I'm due for a haircut where I wonder, is this the time when I finally shave it off? You may have noticed that my forehead is large enough to land an A380 Airbus, and it wasn't always like that. I have male pattern baldness. It's genetic. It happens. It's pretty normal. But I have no issue with being bald. I just like having hair, because having hair just means there's different things I could do with it, even though those things become more and more limited every year. So now that I've said that out loud, I think I will keep the hair for now, actually. It's not as if I'm trying to impress anyone anyway. Maybe when I finally get round to doing Tinder or whatever it is people do these days, I might get a nice haircut. But for now, I'll stick with the mad scientist look. Although I did end up having a go at the beard, I've always wanted to know what I'd look like with a big fuck-off mustache. So I thought, you know what, let's try it out. I feel like this is probably like the male equivalent of a woman going out and getting a cut and colour, because, going to the salon's cheaper than therapy. Although based on what I've heard of salon prices, that's probably not true. There's not enough space in this town for the two of us, Hoa. The kids had been gorging themselves on crap all day, so I didn't want to cook them a nice big healthy dinner just for them to not eat any of it, so I thought, you know what, let's just do some snags. The home ones are never quite as good as a $2 Bunnings snag that's been sitting on a tepid barbecue for 2.5 hours. But the kids were happy, and so was I. Right, so quick confession time. When I started these videos, I was just kind of going to do them for friends and family. I was just going to do it over the Easter weekend, so it was just going to be 5 videos, and then that was it. The thing is, I never expected this to get thousands of views, and oh my god, the comments. I read all of your comments. I hardly reply because I never know what to say, and I never have the time. But I love it. And I see all your messages. Some of them are just wonderful. So I guess I'm just in a bit of a pickle because, you see, my day-to-day life is pretty damn boring. And that's by design. I like boring. Boring means I've got my shit down packed. I'm not stressed about anything. And, that's what I like to continue to do. So I have a lot to think about, really, because I quite enjoy making these videos. And if people are going to watch them, then may as well keep making them, right? So I don't know if there'll be a day 6, but I'll think about it. And regardless of whether there is or not, I'll catch you on the flip side.